Hi, welcome back. I'm Brendan Lee. Somebody wrote to me in the forum. Hi, Brendan. I need your thoughts on that. I'm assuming this could be a language barrier. How do you become a Renaissance human or polymath? How can I become a human with different skills in different areas? Fighting, coding, communication, painting. Do we need to create one identity for each activity, a way of being? Thanks. Short answer, real short answer. Do a bunch of shit. Okay? Slightly longer answer, if you want to become good at many different things, you have to do those different things. And so maybe there's a few different directions you can go with this. For example, in my journey, even though I don't like using the word journey, I do too spiritual or whatever, as I go through life, I encounter problems and try to figure things out. And it's the working on things, trying to figure things out that has me learning so many different things. For example, when I was working, I became dissatisfied with the website, like the homepage, Peter Ralston's website essentially, but it's like the homepage for consciousness and skill worldwide. Cheng Shin, Peter Ralston. I didn't like it. So what did I do? Well, I built a new website. Did I know how to build a website? No, but I learned pretty quick. You see, and then I just threw myself into learning, which in the case of website, it was like I felt like I was putting my mind through a cheese grater, okay? It's like I'm trying to figure out this new way of thinking that's like I don't know how to do it. I'm on YouTube, I'm searching things, I'm doing experiments, I'm failing, I'm trying new things, so I'm just like throwing myself into it, trying stuff, checking things out, learning, making correction, doing it again, and then just on and on and on and on, right? That was the first website that I did, and I learned. And then I did another one on Squarespace. And then I finally migrated over to WordPress. Now that's about where I stopped my skills at this point, until I learned something else. And my point is the throwing myself into it is the thing. The learning is uncomfortable. When I don't know something and I throw myself into learning, there's a discomfort with that because I don't know. I have to confront my weaknesses, my flaws in this area that I don't know and that I feel lost. And there's all of these things come up. But I don't let that stop me. I just continue. And then pretty soon it's like I know a lot of stuff about WordPress that I didn't know before. Why? Because I did it. Why? Because we needed a website. So I built one. Another example, I'm building a house. Why? I'm tired of living in a shack. It's been a while. I've been living very small for a long time. I'm tired of hitting my head on things. I wanted a place to be that I could call mine and that had high ceilings and was designed the way I liked it. And hopefully within my means, kind of barely within my means, my financial means. And I built a house from zero. I put it on the ground. Yeah? Do I know how to do that? No. Do I know now? A lot better than I did. You see, how did I do that? I did it. So it's not a secret. Becoming a polymath is not a secret. You have to do stuff. You have to learn. You throw yourself into it. And so now it's like there's a house out there I'm working on. I'm getting close to finishing up the outside. Then I can switch over to plumbing and electrical on the inside. And you're like, yeah, but Brendan, do you have a licensed electrician? I'm like, no. Do I need one? No. Am I going to burn the house down? Probably not. So is that a risk? Yes. Do I care? No. Am I going to do it? Yeah. Electricity is simple. You just have to be careful when you do it and make sure you do shit right. But if you make sure you do shit right and you understand the basics, you're good to go. See? Just be careful. Do it. Watch me get fucking lit up by 200 amp service or something, man. No, I don't want to do that. It looks uncomfortable. Okay, but you see my point. Do stuff. Learn. Martial arts, same. Do it. Train it. Learn. Get better. So now, maybe there are a few principles or some dynamics that we can look at that will actually make a difference. And again, yeah, there's several dynamics that will make a difference. And of course, like reference many of my previous videos, you're going to be the one that's going to have to go do that. Whether you're on a team or not, You got to learn. So you got to put your ass on the line. You got to go do that. One principle I can see right away is like a willingness to throw yourself into uncomfortable stuff where you don't know what's what. Yeah, but I don't have that willingness. I don't care if you have it or not. Create it, okay? Make it happen. Be like, yep, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to find out. And then go. 2, you got to take action. You have to do something. You have to throw yourself into it. Another principle or dynamic, consistency over time. Those things make a difference. Just doing something once, you'll do something once. You get some exposure, good. But if you really want to master something, you really want to get good at something, it's consistent training over time. All right? The next thing is learn and improve your learning as you go. So like learn how to learn better. That would be one thing I would invite you to do. And then you're like, yeah, Brendan, but how do I do that? Again, so now don't care. Throw yourself into it. Figure it out. Now you're learning how to learn. You're learning how to self-teach. Learn how to learn. Start questioning. You know, you've watched enough of my videos, I hope. If not, watch all the rest of them. Come to a bunch of workshops. You know the drill. Tell your friends. Watch all the videos. And also, you must know by now, you must have some contemplation skills. This is our primary thing for becoming more conscious or grasping things, having insights, making breakthroughs. Contemplate, which is to say, wonder about it, which at a very basic level, you can simply remember to ask yourself the question, how do I learn better? And stay with the question, consistency over time. Stay on that question. Be open. Be uncomfortable. Like, oh, I don't know the answer. Good. Stay in this uncomfortable, perhaps, if it's uncomfortable, not knowing place where you have no fucking idea, and stay with the problem longer, as Einstein said, and we like to quote, stay with it, and then you'll start to learn about learning. And then implement that new learning about learning in your learning, and you'll learn faster. And then do that consistently over time. Another thing you can do, I've lost count where we're at, is make sure that when you're training and you're learning that you are intending to improve, not intending to repeat, but you're like, I want to master this thing now, and you go for that. And of course, you're going to miss the mark. That's fine. That's normal. You're going to fail. If you want to master something, you get ready for failure. Failure is going to be your friend. Now, I don't mean intentionally fail. I mean, master the damn thing right away, and you will fail at that, and then make a correction, do it again. Instant mastery, you'll fall short, fine, but at least your trajectory will be upward. If you continue to do that, you will trend upward, and that is the direction to go. Otherwise, you're just remaining the same. We call that a plateau. If you run into a plateau, get out of it. First, recognize you're in one. Second one, find a way to break out of it. Find a way to improve. Try new shit. Try things on. Okay, so now about being a polymath. You want to do different stuff. Do you need to create an identity for each? No. I think you may have something with creating an identity. I don't know exactly what you mean when you say create an identity. No, you don't need to create an identity. You could perhaps have do a bunch more work. You might not even need an identity. Maybe you don't need to identify with anything. Okay? Just throwing that out there. What you will need to do is to create and generate an experience that is consistent with being good at whatever it is you're doing. We call that making distinctions. You need to change your experience to one of mastery in that area. How do you do that? Through training and study and learning and growing, and you make fine distinctions in the reality you need to make. And also, you do stuff with your body and your mind and your states that are consistent with the principles and that make that thing work. So you may have to shift your way of thinking. Like when I transition over to be a facilitator in consciousness work, I take Brendan out of the picture and I become a facilitator person. Okay? It's like a different mindset, a different being, a different, same being, different persona, if you will, different person. So when I'm being a facilitator, I change to the facilitator person, so I have certain qualities and a certain experience that I don't have when I'm just like being my normal self. Or like if I'm going to be a martial teacher or something, it's like I change to being somebody who's like understanding martial and body stuff, and I have a certain way and a certain approach and a certain presentation is consistent with, if I want to teach you how to do shit with your body, how to fight, how to move, how to be powerful, then I shift to that. Okay? And so I'll have different stuff that I do. So do you need to create an identity for each? I would say no. But you will have to create experiences that work for that. We call that like being effective. Yeah? Is any of it true or real at the end of the day? You figure that out. I'd say no, but you figure that out. Okay? It's just something that you're doing before you die. And again, that's just one perspective of many. You could hold whatever perspective you want. You could have a religious perspective. It doesn't matter in terms of being skillful. You just have to be skillful at the thing that you do. And I think the last thing I want to share, at least on this point, is I think one of the things that has helped me is coming from my place of training lots of martial arts and having an excellent teacher and also putting in thousands of hours, is that the main component that is the arbiter of skill isn't so much your body. Yes, you need to train your body, but it's what you do with your mind. Or what I could say, what you don't do with your mind, or whatever states that you can create. It's like, what are you doing with your mind? That's what makes somebody skillful. In martial arts, it's like, say, is your mind trained to be calm when violence happens? If not, then you will be at a disadvantage, for example. See, and that's a mind thing. That's not a body thing. Your body will respond in kind, but can you train your mind to do that? Or say in a martial setting, it's like, can you train your mind to see places of disadvantage in the other person and immediately take advantage of that? Dispassionately, without anything in the way, and a non-social thing. See, that again, that's a mind thing. That is very powerful to do, right? The same, like if you're a teacher, do you make fine distinctions in your students' minds and like what you're actually working with so that you can be really skillful? Or if you're an artist, can you see reality in the way that you need to see it so that you can then represent it? If you're a painter or illustrator, can you do that well? Like, do you understand light and shadows and all this stuff? Like, can you create that world or not? Right? And it's just whatever world you want to be in, you have to be able to create skill in that area. And if you do a bunch of that in many different areas, then I do believe, sir, ma'am, miss, whoever the fuck you are, you will be able to be a polymath or be skillful in any area. All right, and these things help. Okay. And I do think it is useful to be able to look into stuff, to investigate, to wonder. Not just believe stuff, but actually to wonder what it is that makes skill in this area. What is it that creates mastery in this area? What am I missing such that is holding me back? And to be able to move past those things. And like mastery demands that your person will change because you'll be confronted with things that you have to let go of in order to be a master, or at least have control over them so that you can, in one area, you can do that stuff with your mind. But if you're going to be a master in this area, maybe you don't get to do a whole bunch of stuff. And if you're like really solid on that, you might have to let go of some things, in which case your person will change somewhat to some degree. All right. So there you go. Hope that helped. Check out the forum. Bring your contributions. Ask me questions there because it does help me. It helps generate, probably generate traffic for my website here and there. It helps serve me, and I also get to serve you by answering your questions and creating content. So there you go. Otherwise, come join me for a workshop. I'll be in Holland, Wales, and Europe for a little bit, and then I'll be back here, and then we're doing the fall retreat, which will kick ass, and then later on the winter retreat. Anyway, check my website. You know what to do. All right? Much love. Take care.